All right, so the game's been out for about a week now, and since my first tier list video, a lot has changed. If you hadn't seen it, I made a video basically guessing who I thought was going to be the best characters in the game, you know, ranking them on the tier list, and I was pretty wrong on quite a few of them and right on some. We're just going to get straight into it. If you disagree with anything I say or agree, let me know down in the comments, and let's just get started with Adam Warlock. I still think Adam Warlock is probably A tier. He's a really, really good support. Strategists are super strong. He has pretty good healing, really good damage. His self-res is insane. He's got a lot in his kit. Just very, very good. Okay, Black Panther, absolutely S tier. This dude can do some of the most damage in the game, and he's so quick. He's so hard. If you're playing against a Black Panther that knows his basic like spear dash, flying kick dash combo, he's very, very hard to hit and an absolute nightmare for most supports. Doctor Strange, I'm gonna put an A tier. I don't think any of the tanks in the game are S tier. They're all really, really, really weak in my opinion. Like the role itself is just weak. I think duelists and strategists are just a lot better. Doctor Strange is probably one of the best vanguards in the game though. He's just got great, you know, his shield mainly is his redeeming quality. That thing is so good. For Groot, I'm thinking Groot's like C tier still. I have not seen enough from Groot. I don't really know. I don't play against him enough. And playing him, he doesn't feel very good. His walls are kind of like gimmicky. They seem like they could be good, but for now, I'm putting him in C tier. I don't think he's very, very good. Hela, a lot of people are saying Hela's S tier, but I think she's high A tier. I do not think Hela is better than some other duelists that are going to be on the list. She's really good if you have good aim, but she's got a very simple kit and doesn't have a whole lot. Like one of her abilities is completely useless, her right click. That thing sucks. You're better off just using your primary fire. It does way more damage. But yeah, her primary fire is really good. And if you have good aim, she's very, very, very strong. Okay, Hulk. I think Hulk sucks. This guy's just a bullet sponge. He doesn't really do anything. His ult is kind of mid. Like it's not very great. He's a dive tank and just worse than Venom in every single way. So I don't really see him being very good. I think he's one of the worst characters in the game. Next we have Iron Man. Iron Man's kind of like, I mean, I haven't played much Overwatch, but he's kind of like Pharah, where if they have no hit scan, you can play him. Like if they're running like Black Panther, Magic, Iron Fist, Venom, and Cloak and Dagger, he's pretty good, but he only is good against comps like that. If you play against any hit scan, like a Hela, even a Mantis, a Namor, a Punisher, a Rocket, Scarlet Witch, like he just gets dumped on by so many characters, and for that reason I don't think he's very good. He does have one of the coolest ults in the game, I will say that, but other than that, I think he's C tier. I'll put him above. I'm actually gonna put him below Groot. I don't think he's better than Groot. Jeff, I think Jeff's ult is super busted, but I think the rest of his kit is pretty balanced, and for that reason I'm gonna put him top of A tier. I don't think he's quite S tier, and I think that might be kind of crazy. I think some people are gonna really agree with that or disagree with that. I just don't think. I think you take away his ult. His ult's just really broken. I don't think the rest of his kit's super broken. I don't think he's quite S tier, but he's definitely high A tier for me. Loki, again, I don't really see Loki doing anything. I think Loki's kind of bad. He does have like the immortality thing, which is good. His healing's okay. His healing can be really good because I think his clones heal. No, I do think Loki can be good, but I think for right now he's probably C tier. I think that I'm comfortable putting him in C tier. I just haven't seen enough from him, and most Lokis I play against are pretty bad. All right, next we have Luna Snow. Luna Snow is S tier. She has the best ult in the game. She has really good healing, like the best, if not the second best. If well, I can't talk. The second best, if not the best healing in the game, in my opinion. She's just really solid. Everything about her is just super good. She has really good damage. I think they buffed it actually. She's really good. Okay, Magic. I think Magic is probably A tier. I think people aren't playing her super well right now, but I think Magic is super oppressive, and you know, getting the shield every time she hits, she's very hard to kill one-on-one. Actually, I'd probably say one of the hardest characters to kill one-on-one in the game if she gets on top of you. So I think she's probably comfortable in A tier. For me, B tier seems a little low. Like, I don't think B would be like mid tier, so I think A tier is where she belongs in my opinion. Magneto, I think Magneto is also A tier. I have not seen, like, I've barely seen any Magnetos, but he's just very strong. He's got a good ult. His shields are really nice. His shield is really good. Just a really good character. I'd probably put him kind of next to Doctor Strange. I think Doctor Strange is a little bit better as a Vanguard, but these two are kind of the two best Vanguards in the game. You could Venom could probably be tossed in there too. These guys are both really good if you're looking for tanks to play. Mantis, Thanos tier. I think Mantis is the best character in the game. Easily the best strategist. Does so much damage, like more damage than most DPS characters. does really, really good healing, like healing over time too. So you don't have to constantly be healing your teammates to be healing them. She is a comparable ult to Luna Snow. It's not as good, but it's similar. It gives in a big AoE healing, and like I think gives shield too. She's really, really good. If you're looking for a character to solo queue with, I think she is the best solo queue character in the game. But yeah, she's just insane. Namor, I think he's B tier. I've barely seen Namor's. I haven't played him, so do take this ranking with a grain of salt. This is based off of what I've seen from streamers and other people I play against. I just think Namor is very mid. I think he has a lot of potential. Like I think a really good Namor could go up to like high A, kind of like a Hela. But I just think he's kind of a worse version of Hela, seeing as you have to lead your shots a lot more. And in any game where you have super fast movement speed characters like Mantis, having a character where you have to lead your shots a lot is always going to be like worse than a character that's more hit scan, which Hela isn't hit scan, but she's like pretty much. So I think Namor is B. His turrets are pretty good. His ult sucks. I don't think his ult's very good. And he does have his shift, I think, which puts him up in a little ball in the air and heals him. That's a really good ability for when he gets dove on. So I will say he's probably going to be the highest in B tier. All right, Penny Parker. I don't really know. My friend plays Penny and absolutely destroys on her, but I also think that she's probably B tier. She's really good low elo. I mean, I'm sure you've seen clips where you can just like place mines outside the spawn room and get a team wipe. But like, I don't think that warrants her being an A tier. I think B tier is a really good spot for her. Again, I actually haven't played this character, so do take this ranking with a grain of salt. This is based off of what I've seen, other players do. I do think Penny's probably B tier. I would rather have other Vanguards on my team. Penny's kind of like, if you're a DPS main forced to play Vanguard, I think Penny's your character because she's just very much a DPS character. She's not super tanky. She does a lot of damage. Okay, Punisher. I think Punisher's low A tier. You could argue that he's B tier. I do not think he's S tier. Some people will say that he's S tier, but I think compared to other duelists, he's just not as good, not as strong. He's very, very good. Like, if you pick up the game, you want to play DPS, but you don't know who to play, I think Punisher is like the best starting character. He's very simple. He's basically Soldier 76. He's got his machine gun. He's got a shotgun that's really, really strong, so he can help counter dive. His ult is super fun. Probably low A tier. I think Magic's probably better than him in the hands of like a really good player. But yeah, I think A tier is like a good spot for him. One thing you're going to see, this game has a lot of very strong characters, so there's going to be a lot in A tier. A tier is definitely going to be the most full section on the tier list. Okay, Rocket. I think Rocket's C tier, like high C tier. I think he's better than Loki. Basically for two reasons. His revive is really good. I like his revive. It's a very good ability. And his team ups. His team ups with Punisher and another character that is going to be on the list later is really, really strong. He basically just grants some infinite ammo, and I really like that. He also has really good survivability because he does have good movement. I think he's just better than Loki, but the strategist role is so strong that I just don't see him being better than the other like 4 strategists on this list. Okay, Scarlet Witch, worst character in the game, worst duelist in the game, for sure. If you're new to the game, you're gonna play against the Scarlet Witch, and you're gonna think she's so broken. That is everyone's first reaction, is Scarlet Witch is the most broken character in the game, and I'm telling you, she is not. Her damage sucks. The reason that she is so strong in low elo games is because people struggle to aim. Scarlet Witch does not need to aim. She's kind of like Moira from Overwatch. She can just hold down the button and it does the damage for you, making her do more damage than the people who can't aim. But the second you get into lobbies where people can aim, Scarlet Witch cannot win a single 1v1 against any other DPS in the game. And on top of that, her ult is terrible. This is another thing people think is really strong, because you'll see these 6-man ults where she'll kill the whole team. I have like never died to a Scarlet Witch ult ever. The second you hear her ult, if you just look up and shoot her, she's dead. She is immobile in her ult. She's super slow. She's not immobile, but she's very slow. She hits no resistances, so she's just a 250 health character floating in the air for 5 seconds in slow motion, and she can't do anything. If you just shoot her, she's done. You can also stun her out of it, I'm pretty sure. Like, you can just grab her. So for that reason, I think she is the worst duelist in the game. Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man is probably high B tier, maybe A tier. I don't know, because it really depends. Because for most people when they play Spider-Man, they make Spider-Man look like the worst character in the game, right? But I think in a good player's hands, like Necros, for example, probably the best Spider-Man, he's high A tier. I don't think he's S tier, even with a good player. But it's he's probably the hardest one to rank. I want to put him just high B tier because like I think that's where on average like he's gonna be for most players. But I think if you're really, really good, like put like 100+ hours into him, you can get him up to high A tier, maybe even S tier potentially. I'm gonna put him low A tier. I think I might put him above Punisher. I think this is okay for me. He's very hard to place because everyone plays him so differently. Okay, Star-Lord, another character I think is just A tier. Like he's solid and he's got a great ult. You know, he rewards good aim. He's got decent movement. He's very quick. He's just a fun character. I think maybe once you get like higher up and higher elos, he might not be as good. Next, Storm. I don't know, because some Storms seem really good, but most Storms seem really bad, and no one really plays her, so she's really hard to like rank, but I think she's probably B tier. I don't know. Guys, okay, I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea about Storm. From what I've seen from Storm in my games and in other people's games, Storm is C tier, but she could be really good, because there has been times where I've been shit on by a Storm. I'm gonna say C tier, probably above Iron Man. Her ult's really annoying. Yeah, again, Storm's a kind of hard character to place because not a lot of people play her, but I think C tier is probably gonna be decent for now. She might be able to move up to B tier in the future. Next, Thor. Thor's tough because he does a lot of damage. He's really annoying. Like when he's just on top of you, it feels like you just can't get away and you're just dead. I think compared to like Doctor Strange and Magneto, he's not as helpful to the team. For that, I think he's gonna be the high B tier. I think he's high B tier. He's got a really cool kit and he's very unique and he can do a lot of damage, but I don't think he tanks very well compared to like Doctor Strange, Magneto, which is what you want from a Vanguard, right? Like, okay, Venom. I think Venom is the best dive tank and the best like dived character tank in the game. He's super good, but I don't think he's better than Magneto and Strange. I think he's one below them. I'm gonna put him below Adam Warlock too. I think he's A tier. I think he's a really good character, but I do think Strange and Magneto are probably better. Venom's way more annoying, 100%. Venom's super cringe. I don't think he's necessarily as good as Magneto or Strange, but he's definitely close. Captain America, I also think high B tier. I think Thor and Captain America are pretty comparable. They're both decent. I think again Captain America kind of falls into that. Actually, I think I'm gonna put Captain America above Thor. His shield is super broken. It like absorbs everything. You can't throw anything at this guy. He's very, very good at surviving, which is good. That is what you want from a tank, but he's kind of also more of a DPS. I think he could go up too. I think right now he's B tier from what I played against. He doesn't seem to have as much impact as Magneto or Strange or Venom, but he seems very, very good. Next, Bucky. I want to put Bucky in Thanos tier, but I don't think he's quite Thanos tier. He's probably top of S. He's almost Thanos tier. He feels like Thanos tier when you're playing against him, but I don't think his kit's as overpowered as Mantis's. He's just super good. Some people are saying he's weak, which is just insane to me. I don't know how you could even remotely think he's weak. Maybe if you're sitting 500 meters away from the team and trying to shoot them from across the map, he's weak. But if you're in medium to close range, this character is unmatched. Like he's so broken. 140 damage headshots, like infinite ult basically. If you keep resetting it, he's so broken and probably the most fun character to play in the game. All right, next, Moon Knight. Moon Knight's another character that I think depending on the mode and depending on what you're playing it, he varies game to game 100%. If you're playing against a team that groups up like very tight, Moon Knight is so broken, right? Like he does so much damage, but if they kind of put up, he's not as good, right? Like single target damage isn't the best. So for that reason, I think he's gonna be high A tier. I think I'm gonna put him in between. I think he just a little bit worse than Hela. I think Hela is a little bit more consistent, but Moon Knight is very, very, very good. And I think high A tier is very solid for him. Okay, next we have Psylocke. My ranking for Psylocke changes every day. Sometimes I think she's S tier, sometimes I think she's high A tier. She's very, very weird. I think as players get better, she's gonna get worse. So for that reason, I think I'm gonna put her high A tier. I'm gonna put her above Hela in A tier. High A tier. She's really good. She's got insane flank. She can take out backline really, really well. Okay, probably my biggest miss of my last tier list. I don't know where I put him, but I did not put him high enough. Hawkeye. Hawkeye's S tier. This character's insane. Like, if you don't touch, if you leave Hawkeye untouched, if you ignore him, you're gonna get destroyed. He'd output so much damage. There's no character in the game that can do more damage than him if he's not getting dealt with. He's so good, and he's actually, you'd think like, oh, having a bow, he'd be like kind of like a skill character, which he can be, but if you just sit in the back of the map and spam arrows, you're like guaranteed to get kills. He's super broken, and I think he's definitely S tier. I don't think he's better than Black Panther. Actually, yeah, I do. I think Black Panther's bottom of S. I think he's better. For right now, this could change. I think Black Panther is going to be a really slept on character for a long time until people start realizing that he's very, very broken. Your next Wolverine, I think Wolverine's ass. I don't know. I'm putting him above Hulk, but like, I think he's D tier. I don't think he's good. That might be a crazy take for some people, but I just don't think he's very good. He's like a tank shredder, and that's really all he's good at. His kit feels very bad. Like, he's a very like specific, he's a very specific job, and if he can't do that, he can't do anything else. Like, he's just not super good. You know what? Maybe he's better than Iron Man. He might be better than Iron Man. Maybe. I think he's probably C tier, but I don't know where. Maybe better than Iron Man. Yeah, I'm gonna put him better than Iron Man. I don't really know. Like you could make an argument for any of these three characters to be better than each other. Squirrel Girl. Super slept on. I don't know why no one plays her. I think better than Moon Knight. I think high A tier, better than Moon Knight. Really good character with potential to move up to S as well. So good. Has a lot of, has a very high skill ceiling. Like you have a root. If you hit your root, you're basically guaranteed to get a kill. Not much they can do about it. Her direct hits to the head do so much damage. Her ult also has a lot of potential. Most people don't know how to use it, including me. But the couple times where you do use it right, you realize like how oppressive it can be because it lasts for so long if you place it in like kind of the right area. I think she's really good, super underrated player. If you don't, just like try her out. She's very slept on. Okay, Lee Sin, Iron Fist. I don't know. Iron Fist is probably the most annoying character in the game to play against, other than Hawkeye. But unlike Hawkeye, I don't actually think Iron Fist is that good, which might be a crazy take for some people. Like, I almost want to put him in B tier. I actually don't think he's very good. His ult sucks. He's such a one-trick pony, and against like decent players, he doesn't really do his one trick very well. Like, you're trying to dive a Mantis, right? A low elo Mantis might be like, man, I don't know what to do. This guy's just destroying me. Any like decent Mantis is just gonna sleep you and kill you. I don't think he's amazing. I do think he's really annoying. And I think in like the lower elo, he's probably like Thanos tier. I could imagine like if I wasn't super as comfortable in this game, I would hate this character because I sometimes already like he'll get on top of me and I'll just freak out and I'll just like throw my mouse in the air and start crying. So I think for that reason he can be very good, but I just don't think he's better than Punisher. I don't think he's better than Star-Lord. I don't think he's not better than Vet. Like, he's not better than any of the ones in the A tier, in my opinion. And again, high B tier's not bad. That's almost not mid. Like, he's the top of mid. Can definitely find success with him. Okay, Black Widow. I saw people saying she sucked. And I don't, okay, she's definitely not where I had her at Thanos tier. I thought she was going to be a one-shot character. That's what it looked like in the gameplay trailer. That's why I put her there, okay? But I do not think she's D tier or C tier. She's not that bad. She has really good mobility. Like, if you get on top of her, she's actually kind of hard to kill. She can jump boost on top of a roof. If you get on top of her, she can kick you away. And I actually think like she's pretty decent if you have good aim. Like her damage isn't as good as Hawkeye's, but it's more consistent. Like you can hit your shots more. And actually, I think she counters Hawkeye. I think she is better than, like, in a 1v1, I think she's way better than Hawkeye because Hawkeye has to hit his shots and it's very, very hard. Widow, I almost call her Widowmaker. Black Widow, it's not as hard. Like, Hawkeye's going to be standing still, you know, shimmying around with his little fucking arrow, and you just have a sniper doing the same thing. But your sniper is like hit scan. His is a projectile. You're going to hit your shots more often than his. I think she's actually underrated. I'm going to put her... Ooh, I can't put her in A tier. I can't put her in A tier. She's the highest in B tier. She's good. She's good. She's a good character. Okay. Also, probably my next biggest miss of my last list. I'm going to try and find the comment. Some guy told me Cloak and Dagger was OP and I was being dumb. And I'm like, nah, Cloak and Dagger sucks. Cloak and Dagger is amazing. I didn't realize that Cloak has an ability that is basically a Suzu from Overwatch. Like, it just makes your teammates immortal. Like, you could use that to counter literally like half the ults in the game. That's insane. A good Cloak and Dagger is going to be insanely strong. S tier, 100%. Not as good as Luna Snow, I don't think. And definitely not as good as Mantis, but so good. Like, really, really good. And honestly, very much has the potential to go above Luna Snow once players get better with them. Super good character. I'm sorry for sleeping on them, but I am very happy with this tier list. Very, very, very happy. Yeah, like I said, please let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree. If you hate me after this tier list, yeah, it'd be kind of weird, but like, you know, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and please have a great day. See ya.